I feel so blessed today that I have had the opportunity to coach at UConn. Kevin Ollie, simply put, epitomizes what we want a UConn athlete to be all about.
It's going to be one step at a time.
Kevin Ollie had his dream job. And in just his second year,
that is it! The 7th-seeded UConn Huskies, their 4th national championship.
But in the next 4 seasons, the losses piled up.
UConn will fall to 0-3 in conference. They've lost 4 in a row.
Including finishing under 500 for the first time in 30 years.
UConn has slipped into irrelevancy.
Back-to-back seasons where they don't make the NCAA tournament, losing records.
Do you expect to be back coaching this team again next year?
Yes.
Breaking news into SportsCenter. UConn head coach Kevin Ollie has been fired by the school. The school said it was for, quote, just cause.
Just cause. Just cause they're losing is why he got fired.
This is not about wins and losses. Who are you being investigated by? The NCAA or by the FBI?
They owe him about $10 million, and they don't want to pay him.
Now the UConn basketball program is part of an ongoing NCAA investigation into compliance and recruiting violations. Ollie and his alma mater are fighting over money. The question is, what happens next?
Let's bring in one of the best in the business, ESPN college basketball analyst Jay Bilas. All right, so Jay, let's talk a little bit about this Kevin Ollie UConn situation. There are some that believe that Kevin Ollie was a coach that was maybe skating a little too close to an NCAA violation, wasn't doing so well, got fired, shouldn't be entitled to his $10 million remaining on his contract. Others think that the school is trying to bilk him out of the remaining money on his deal. Accusations flying back and forth. What do you think is really happening here?
Well, when UConn, Ryan says that Kevin Ollie was fired for cause, he was losing. And if he weren't losing too many games, these violations would have been considered secondary in nature, and that's what they are. They're level 2 violations, and they used to be called secondary violations. Most schools deal with these things and move on. So UConn's in the situation of being able to claim that they're firing Kevin Ollie for cause, those being the NCAA violations, and yet they're not going to face any sanctions going forward because they're secondary in nature. So in my judgment from afar, this is just UConn not wanting to pay. And I don't approve of this kind of thing. If you want to fire him, go ahead. But I think Kevin Ollie, frankly, is being smeared here for a bunch of secondary violations that are very little consequence in the grand scheme of things in the NCAA structure.
Some people thought about this when Pitino was let go. This idea that they're using the term cause as a way to get out of paying him, yet when you're trying to get a coach like Ollie or Pitino, you're giving them all this money. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Are you seeing a trend here?
I think there's a chance that could happen, but I don't think you're going to see it widespread because this is going to reflect poorly, certainly on Kevin Ollie, but it's going to reflect poorly on UConn as well. And that's why you have contract provisions that cover these type of things. So you may have something specific that says anything secondary in nature would not be, you couldn't terminate for cause. There are all kinds of things you could do, as you know, but it certainly doesn't reflect well on anybody involved here.
Yeah, from one lawyer to another, I think that those contracts, the way we see them, are going to change very soon, especially if you're re-upping a deal and you're a coach.